will save money for your children for college to get tax credits when they invest their money in plans sponsored by other states. Previously, those tax credits were available only if you invested in the plan run by the Missouri Treasurer's Office. Do you think it's appropriate to be giving tax credits to Missouri families who put their money in other states' college savings plans? This question starts with Brad.
You know, if I understand correctly, when we made some changes to the most 529 plans, which is what I believe you're referencing, David, what we really did was we said, what can we do in the state of Missouri that facilitates, cultivates, and makes investment for higher education easier for parents? And one of the things that we continuously heard is the challenges of the current 529. I can tell you this, after passing that bill, it is one of the things that I hear the most about, how the state of Missouri, the savings plan that we now offer the citizens of our state, is one of the best in the nation. So I believe that we've taken a step in the right direction. And what we've done, we've said, listen, if you're going to invest for higher education, for your child's future, then we're going to allow tax deductibility. I'm a guy that believes we should make that as easy as possible, because I believe that this continuum that we talk about, from early childhood all the way through post-secondary education, that it should be done so in a manner that encourages and promotes not only personal responsibility, but planning. So I will always be an individual that facilitates and encourages whatever we can do to make it easier for parents to save for their children's college education. Please.
Thank you, David. I supported the law that extended that tax break to families because I think at the end of the day, if our goal is to help families save for college, and our goal is to make it as easy as possible, that we shouldn't be picking and choosing which programs they should or should not invest in. Now, saying that, I think there's some important changes that need to be made to Missouri's program to ensure that at the end of the day, Missourians are not taken to the cleaners on fees and expenses. And that's really important. And that's a really important decision that we make as we move forward with inside the Treasurer's Office with that plan to make sure, because right now our fees for the advisor portion of the plan are some of the highest in the country. So that is a piece that I'll be evaluating and looking at and reviewing as I get into the office.
Thank you, Glenn. Further questions?
I'm Jack Whitaker from the Hannibal Courier Post. Would you each address what you see as the greatest challenge or the most important item or issue that will be on your agenda as treasurer?
This goes first to Glenn.
Thank you. I think first and foremost, the first goal of the state treasurer, regardless of party affiliation, is to fulfill the statutory and constitutional responsibilities of the office. Manage the state's investments, its banking services, its investment portfolio, unclaimed property fund, and then serve on Mosers, and also the state pension fund and MHTC. So that's the first and foremost responsibility. But I think there is, again, as an elected official, if that's all the state treasurer should be doing, then I would argue that he or she should probably be appointed by the governor. I think that at the end of the day, it's important that we have somebody that brings values and ideas on how to really improve our state and move the state forward. The central premise and belief that I think that we need to address the next 4 years in the state is to make sure that this state is a beacon of opportunity again for families. And that means having access to good jobs. That means having policies that help promote affordability in higher education. We're one of the least affordable states in the Midwest for higher education. And to make sure that we really increase access to health care. And for those who have health care, that we manage costs, help manage cost. So at the end of the day, I think creating more opportunity for Missouri families is one of the most important things that I can do as a statewide elected official in the office of treasurer.
Brad Lager.
You know, I believe that the investment of the taxpayers' money and making sure that that money is invested in a way that truly benefits the taxpayer and provides them with a return on their investment is without a doubt the most important thing that we can do in the state treasurer's office. I think there's opportunities for advancement. And one of the things that I think Sarah Steelman has done a great job of, that I intend on championing and continuing, is her efforts in terror-free investment. I think that is the right direction, the right move. I don't believe that our money should be invested in funds that then help aid, whether it's countries or entities that buy bullets that shoot at our men and women overseas. And I also believe one of the things that Sarah Stillman has done that's been very good is under Nancy Farmer, a large portion of our money was invested on Wall Street. And when Sarah took office, she said, we're going to invest on Main Street. And I intend on keeping that policy and investing Missouri's money in our banks right here, so that those dollars are used to help economic opportunities in our communities and really help our communities grow.
Got to raise an issue there, let's allow a little rebuttal time here on the issue of the tariff-free investing. Right now, the Treasurer's Office, in one account that it controls in the Mosher system, has set up a tariff-free investment pool. But would you advocate a changing state law that would require all the state's money to be invested in such a format? And when this goes first view at your level period?
Thank you, David. I think there is precedent and there is real opportunity for us to set an investment policy that just doesn't apply to Missouri Investment Trust, that you would apply to the state's pension fund and all of our assets, to make sure that that money is not invested in organizations that are trying to hurt citizens of the United States. It just makes common sense. And you can do that in a responsible way. I think the most important thing you can do is set up a framework early on. You can do that through statute. You can do that through internal decision making inside the office and the fund. But you set up that framework so that you prohibit those investments from happening in the first place, and then slowly divest as time goes on. So I think it's a real life opportunity to actually make an impact. And when you consider that other states are doing this and you pool these resources together, it makes a huge impact.
Right.
You know, not only do I believe we should do it with our state dollars, I think we should go out, we should advocate for the private sector to be doing it as well. I think it's logical, common sense that we want to invest in a manner that does not put our men and women in harm's way. And so not only will I advocate for it within state government, I will be a strong voice and an advocate that our private sector follows the lead and does it as well.
Thank you.